It's 22 explosive hits. Sorry, Kathleen. Yeah, greatest hits package. You got it. So this one, my personal favorite, the Reverend Al Green sang a song, "Guilty." She has both found some of her defendants guilty, but this song refers to being guilty in love, and she has so been charged and convicted being guilty of love with John. And he's hereby sentenced for a lifetime. So, now this isn't so much musical as it would be fashion. Mary, as you know, has an insatiable desire for shopping. It doesn't matter what the latest fashions are. So ladies and gentlemen, I'll move it a little bit closer. Liberace. That's Liberace. You can have a look at these later. But I thought how apropos the first songs on each of the sides is the #1 song on the #1 side, Man and Woman, and the #1 side on side 2 would refer to her dancing abilities, Boogie Woogie. And I'll gloss over this only because, Mary, I don't know if you saw those guys. Those were the Shuffle Demons, and that was Mary's latest fashions, which she went to Toronto.
Shuffle Demons, yeah.
Okay, so, don't worry, it's not much longer, Mary. Well, it could be a lot longer anyway. Believe in music. Now, I have this one only because... Way too many, I know. We've got Cher, who I know is an idol of Mary's, singing about the people that she defended, gypsies, tramps, and thieves. And just so you know, don't worry, we've got, Pamela, how am I doing? We got about 8, oh fine, okay, we're fine. Yeah, that's, believe me, you're not saying, Andrew's not saying that. So, anyway, moving on. I was talking with Bruce only a short time ago, because Mary did have some avant-garde times. Now I've got a tuning. The first person who can pitch it out. A band from Athens, Georgia. The album was Yellow.
R.E.M.
The B-52.
Rock Lobster.
Give me that. Did you steal my Devo albums?
No, okay. The saving grace about this is that given Mary's poor dancing, it fit in very well with the B-52. She never looked out of place. What do you guys think? What did I get myself into here? Is this what you think? So, anyway, another band that I've been a favorite of, when I looked at this one, our parents, mom and dad, always kind of, trying to steer us away from the very people that Mary has ended up defending most of her life. And this album has kind of a double entendre because as I look at it, there you'll see the specials.
Yeah!
Right? I'm Too Much, Too Young. Those are a lot of the clients that Mary would now defend. And then when they look on the back, there's a nice boat, just like you and Jack might have. So we've got work on one side, pleasure on the other.
Yeah, but do you confess?
No, never.
Do you confess?
And just to finish off, we've only got 2 more albums to go. Then I've actually got a 600 slide projector. Okay, so a personal
I've got
favorite.
the slides of Europe from 1976.
That's right. We'll get to those later. That'll be the after party. So a personal favorite of mine, The Clash, their classic album Combat Rock. For those of you who can't remember it, Joe Strummer. Mary, do you remember this album? Maybe not. But as a legal defense lawyer, the #1 song on the #1 side, Know Your Rights. So if anyone is always talking about knowing your rights, it's my sister Mary, defender of the worst. So now, how did I end up with this? And I'm just about ready to bring this to an end. Some of you have seen this. I asked for a list of all the people that were away. I thought it's always important to recognize all the people that traveled thousands and thousands of miles. She sent me a bunch of hen scratchings that were illegible, incoherent, and quite substandard. And I thought if I was a client of Mary's, I'd be very worried about going to court. So I got a few hen scratchings here. Can you find my client not guilty? So anyway, why am I bringing this out? Well, Mary does have a pretty wicked sense of humor. So one album we listened to a lot was Steve Martin. And you know what? There's a lot of parallels between Steve Martin and my sister Mary. He is looks good in bunny ears. I know Mary was always good for costume parties, whether people were in costume or not, because I think she did go to a costume party, the only one there. But also,
Dad overheard that and it pissed him off.
Exactly. But then, as I look at the notes of Steve Martin, do they not look surprisingly similar to the of my own sister? And both Steve Martin, and there he is, wishing you best wishes, Mary. So, what is the point I'm trying to get at? My sister has been extremely successful. Her love of music has carried her through her life, just as all of us here, she has carried us, but you people have also carried the day by being here today. And I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart, both on behalf of my sister Mary and Jack and his wonderful family. Thank you so much. This was my one chance at getting it out. I'll never speak again, Dave. I don't know if you do any family law. I may be divorced shortly thereafter. So that's it. But just one other thing. Now we've got... where'd my papers go? Over here. Hold on. Just a couple other things. So now, Kathy, you're going to get up and do the toast. But before we do,
Hey,
hang on, Michael.
Hey.
Just hang on.
Hey.
My brother Michael will come up. He wanted to give maybe a little more serious toast to my sister Mary, and it won't be a couple of minutes because I've kind of taken up most of the quota. So Mike,
You've worn out your welcome.
Worn out my welcome. Yes, okay, Mike, let's go.
Okay, since we're working with props here.
Hello.
Vinyl rules, you know. So does analog. Anyway. Well, now you see what I've had to deal with since this guy took my mother away from me in 1963. I have clear memories of Mom not being in the house, Mary and myself in the house, in the dining room doorway with our Aunt Mary, who is here. I can remember this clearly. Seeing Aunt Mary at the kitchen sink, doing what the Murphys, doing what people in the North End do, helping each other out. If something has to be done, the neighborhood comes together to cover and help their families out. That's what the Murphys and the Crosbys, and I hope, Jack, I hope that's what you're going to be about, that you've married into this family. There's one sailor, two sailors here, Murphy and Wilson. So, guys, I'm expecting a ride on the boat, please, sometime. I remember being at the wheel on St. Margaret's Bay with my mother's brother, Brown. So, you know, given that nautical heritage we have here in Nova Scotia, that's the way it is in this part of the world. I know that some of you people are here from Toronto, and Toronto is okay. Toronto is what it is. You have more chance to see Devo in Toronto and get to know those people there than you would here in Nova Scotia. But we have a very unique way of life that we really sometimes do not appreciate. The great way of life we have here in Atlantic Canada, we have here in Nova Scotia, we have here in the Maritimes. Canada is what it is, but I know I would not want to be in any other part of Canada but the Maritimes, but Nova Scotia. Mary, when are you bringing them back? So Jack, Mary, all the best. I never thought I would see this day happen.
For scheduling reasons, only for scheduling.
Better late than never is. I've been getting rave reviews about my walking my younger sister. Let's be clear about this. I'm the oldest brother. I knew her long before I knew this guy who just took us to K-Tel Hell. K-Tel Hell. It's a good, but you know, vinyl means something. Yeah, but these two have found their perfect calling in life. This guy who knows how to schmooze and sell, a smarmy, superficial guy, perfectly suited for the line of work that he has. I hope the company that he works for realizes what a valuable asset they have in this man to sell their coffee, and and Mary Murphy, who has found her perfect calling in life. She can't give it up. She can't give it up on an argument, on a debate, on a dispute of whatever. Little wonder my little sister is a successful lawyer in Toronto. She's found the perfect calling in her vocation, in her work life, and I really think, Jack, she's found the most meaningful life partner I think my little sister could ever hope to have.
Okay, my kids are coming up to hug me because Michael got more applause than I did. You know what? I think the OJ's Backstabbers was on one of those songs. And sometimes it pays to be pathological. Anyway, without any further ado, well, thank you, James, for coming up to hug me, buddy. Kathy, I believe you are up, so you can come up here.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
It's like,
It's all right. You didn't
I'm the other brother. I've got issues.
Good going, Mike. Good stuff. Good stuff.
He got the house. John got the house.
Okay, so I've been asked to give the toast to the bride. There's been a lot said about the bride already, and I've got a bit more. And I hope she'll forgive me too. Mary and I met at 12 in Girl Guides, I think. So that was, I have to say it, some 20 years ago. Since then we've shared choir practices, camping, junior high, high school, undergrad, and traveling. I think we've been together, or at least advised each other, comforted or laughed with each other at every important event in our lives subsequently. The joy of being here with her today is unsurpassed. Being Mary's friend is an honor and a gift. She is generous, loyal, and hilariously funny. I mentioned traveling a little earlier, and I need glasses. And if you are a friend or a family member, as almost all of us are, of Mary's, then you know that if you travel with her, you must be prepared to experience two of her many personal gifts. The first is her ability to sleep anywhere, anytime.
Wow, that is a gift.
I have been with Mary when she has blissfully dozed off on trains, buses, planes, cars, in movies, in classes, in plays, and on one memorable occasion, which she will deny, but there is another person here who can bear witness, while she herself was speaking.
Wow.
And I've always envied this gift because we're on like long flights and she's like, 2 seconds after it takes off and you're sitting there. I have always envied it. The second gift is, or it's her second, I guess it's sort of a trait, is, because it's less a gift, is her ability to look her lovely self in front of the camera at all times, but magically, seconds later, look like a completely different person in the actual photograph. I don't know what happens, there's some sort of black magic, but it's really hard to get a good picture of Mary. Something happens. It's true. It's true. Right? She looks, you're standing beside her, you look at her, you think, Frank, she looks great, and you take the picture and something happens. So something's happening between the click and the pick, and it's not good. It's some sort of black magic or something, right? It's uncanny. But I have noticed in the last couple of years that some very good pictures of Mary have been showing up. Her joyful personality, her pretty face, they were all there in the pictures, and I think the difference that accounts for this change is that her Jack is beside her in these pictures, or he's behind the camera taking them. And now we have the white magic of love, making sure that she looks lovely and wonderful and as she is. May I ask you to please raise your glass with me in a toast to our beloved Mary, so happy and so lovely on her wedding day.